Hi everyone, this is Marlies Kort, the 9-mile marathon. In this video today, I'm going to tell you some more about the following question that many runners ask me. How are you able to coach runners when you're on a distance? You're not running next to them. We not have our evening together that you do your interval training or your MHR runs or whatever runs. No, I'm coaching you guys on the distance through the 9-mile marathon mastery program. So how am I going to do that, and how do I coach my students? Well, one of the tools that I'm using is a free app that's called STRAVA. It's a free account, and I use it a lot because it connects automatically with your Garmin. So that way I'm able to look over your shoulder and to know exactly what you're doing on your runs. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys how I do that. So for that, I put myself here. Well, this is one of the screens of Strava, and it's so easy to use as for my students to get to log their runs here. As I said, it automatically connects with your Garmin, so that way when they share their runs with me and the other way around, we are connected through Strava. And this is one of the tools that I'm using a lot during my coaching. And it's an important tool because we do use a lot our heart rate monitor, because we do runs that we call MHR runs. This is a run on your marathon heart rate. That's a very personal, specific heart rate that we use over and over again throughout the whole training program. It's the basic, it's the cornerstone of my 9-mile marathon program. So I always ask my students to use a heart rate monitor, especially in the beginning when I teach them how to use it and how to run on that specific heart rate. So what I'm going to show you today is one of our students is David. And David is sharing here his interval training with me. He did a 400-meter set. And as you can see below, the blue line is his pace and the red one is his heart rate. And what I do when I have a progress call with David, we go over his runs. And one of them is this interval training. And what you can see here, what I look at is the pace that he is running, but also his heart rate. And the heart rate is important for me because I know that David has an MHR, a marathon heart rate of 150. So what I look at, one of the things that I look at is that his heart rate will be above MHR, which is the case because it needs to be above, in his case, 150 beats per minute. And he runs his intervals on 165 beats per minute, 166, 162, 162. So all of them are above 160, so they're way above his marathon heart rate. So that's perfect. The second thing I'm looking at is his dribble, so how his heart rate drops during the recovery. And that's in between his speed work. So his heart rate here is around 130, a little bit above, well, a little bit below 140, 137, 135, 130 again. So his recovery heart rate is way below his MHR, and that is what I'm looking for, and that is perfect. So his recovery is good enough to start with this next interval. The third thing that I'm looking at is that the interval itself is pretty even. So the pace all over every interval over and over again needs to be the same pace as much as possible. If that's hard for David, then I will ask him next time to take more time for his recovery, because we train by full recovery, so then he will be able to have the same pace over and over again throughout the whole interval training. But in this case, David did a very good job, so we go to the next one. This is Mike. Mike did a 4 times 1,000 meter interval training. As you can see here, again, the blue line is his pace, the red one is his heart rate. And Mike, his marathon heart rate, so his MHR is 146, So again, I'm looking for a higher heart rate than his marathon heart rate, which is the case here, 166, 167, 164, even 170. So that's perfect. So he's really pushing on the gas pedal here. And then his recovery is way below his MHR, is 125, 124 even, and 125. So that's perfect. It looks really good there. The pace is almost even. So this is a very good training. Mike did a good job. Next one. Amy, also an interval training. This is a different one. Amy did 2 times 200, so the shorter ones, and then the longer ones is a 1,000 meter, and she repeated for 4 times. Again, I'm looking at the blue line. Amy is running way above the MHR because her MHR is 158, and here she runs 170 even, 172, 180, so that's perfect. Her dribble in between is 133, 140, and after the 1,000 meter, 130 again, and that's way below her MHR, so that's a perfect recovery. Well done, Amy. The last one is that I look at her pace on the intervals itself, and if they are pretty much the same, so she is able to repeat the interval pace over and over again, which is the case. So this is a perfect interval training for Amy. Well done. Next one. Bethany, she's sharing here an MHR run with me on Strava. And her MHR is, well, we calculate the MHR by doing a test at the beginning of our program. And in this case, Bethany has an MHR of 150. Her marathon heart rate is 150. Again, it's a very personal heart rate. It's different for every student. Well, here she is doing her MHR run, so she tries to run on that specific heart rate with a bandwidth of plus 2-3 beats per minute and a little bit below. Well, as you can see here, the red line is perfectly horizontal, and she stays so close to her MHR. It's amazing. Even when there's a slight decline and incline, she's able to control her heart rate. So that's the red line. And then you can also see the pace that belongs to this particular heart rate, which is her marathon heart rate, together with the pace that belongs to that heart rate. Well, very well done. Very nice run. Well done, Bethany. Next one. Another MHR run, and this is Ed. Ed has a marathon heart rate of 128, and here he's doing his afternoon run on his MHR, which is 128 again. Well, the red line shows his heart rate. And so, of course, it takes a while to warm up and to increase your heart rate at the beginning. And as you can see, it takes at about 2K, so that's a little bit more than a mile, to warm up and to get and to step by step increase his heart rate towards his MHR of 128. So then he continues his run. Well, he stays some heartbeats below his MHR, which is 128, and here he's making use of the bandwidth, so he's using under the part below his MHR, which is 3 beats per minute, to stay there. So somewhere between 125, 128, which is perfect. Also a good run. So I'm very pleased with this. With these graphs on Strava for Ed. Well done, Ed. So this is the way how one of the tools that I have to coach my students is through Strava, as I just showed you. So then you know that even coaching on a distance works perfectly for us. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching. And if you want to know more about the 9-mile marathon training basics, well, visit the 9milemarathon.com or click on the link below this video. Okay, see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.